Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello. And I don't know, do you say Merry Christmas Eve
Sure,
or Happy
anything
Christmas
that's
Eve?
merry is good.
Merry is always good. A merry heart doeth good as medicine.
Yeah.
We are, for those of you who are expecting news, we are not going to do news today because it's Christmas Eve. And I have something that I think you will enjoy hearing about. And then we'll talk about a few other things, but all related to Christmas. So, or good things and happy things, because we get so bogged down sometimes in the news of the day and what's going on and the corruption of the hour and all of that other stuff that we forget sometimes just to be merry. Several people have made comments in the comments on YouTube's about why do I laugh so much. I just I laugh because sometimes you either laugh, if you don't laugh, you're crying. But everything in life is merry. Everything in life, has a silver lining to it. And this was very interesting to me personally, and I hope you all find this interesting as well. And if you watched our last segment, or if you uh, heard us talking about it, you know that we shared a story about Rob, Dr. Katie, and Cleo. And because we asked for stories about rescue pets, etc. And they shared a very heartwarming story. I won't go through the whole story, but I will tell you, because Rob was a policeman who rescued a dog who got hit by a car and took the dog to a vet and ended up marrying the vet, Katie. And I love that story. It's romantic, it was heartwarming. I felt happy for the dog, happy for Rob and Katie. And I, for some reason, and I don't remember why, I get newsletter emails from the Great American Media, which runs Great American Family Network, and they do a lot of what I call hallmarky movies. They're always these little romance stories, they're happily ever after type of story, but they're feel good stories, and I like to watch them. They're sappy. Yes, I know they're sappy, but it's a nice break from all of the stuff that's going on in the world. And they're cute, whatever. So,
Yeah,
in any
there's enough evil and badness in the world without trying to look for it.
Right. So, anyway, I had received one of those emails, and I emailed back to them the story of Rob, Katie, and Chloe. And I'm expecting either to get one of these no reply, emails, or one of those automatic emails. Whatever happened to customer service? You just get these automatic emails. We received your, yeah, thank you so much. No, I actually got a reply from Bill Abbott, who at Great America Media. And I wanted to read his reply because it wasn't just thank you. And I have something else to say about it. So bear with me. Thank you very much for sending this to me, Beth. You are right. It's a great story. And this is a huge passion and initiative for us at Great American Media. Merry Christmas,
Yay.
Bill. Signed by Bill Abbott. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe he is the consumer relations person or whatever it is at Great American Media. No, Bill Abbott is the president and CEO of Great American Media.
Well, hello,
And I
Bill.
was like kind of flabbergasted in a way, because I really did not know who he was. I just get these. I guess I watched the movies or I made a comment or something, so I'm on the email list. But I just thought, wow, for a president and CEO to get to it's a fairly large company. They do a lot
TV
of,
operation.
yeah, they do a lot of movies and stuff. To get to actually respond and not just say, thank you. I mean, thank you for the story. You're right. It's a great story. And then I started laughing and I started thinking, wouldn't that be hilarious if they actually did? Because that's their type of movie. That's their type of thing. But when you call a company anymore, when you call, about your internet, or you call about this or that, trying to get in touch, try to get in touch with Google, you get not, you don't get anywhere. And so I was just very, very happy about that. And so I said to Bill, I said, let's not talk about news. There's enough time to talk about news. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Christmas. We all talk about Christmas, the gifts and the wrapping and the shopping and getting together with family. And yes, we have nativity scenes in our houses, and we have, used to be in public, they would have creches, and sometimes you could find a live nativity scene where they actually had donkeys, and we used to like to go see that. And so I was thinking, well, people are always talking about the true meaning of Christmas and the Grinch movie. And I thought it might be nice to maybe share personal stories about your favorite Christmas, if you have one that you can off the top of your head, or a Christmas that you remember. I'll start.
Okay.
Because it's not my Christmas that I remember, but I do have two stories, actually. One is mine and one is my dad's. And my dad has been gone for 21 years, and I think he would like to be part of this if he could. And so I'm going to make him part of it. My father was probably, I don't know, 10 or so. It was during the Depression, and his dad used to work, took the train from New Jersey to New York every single day. And he had 3 buddies that he played bridge with on the way there and on the way back, because they all rode the same train. So that was the game. It wasn't poker, it was bridge back then. And every single day. And so one Christmas in particular, it was Christmas Eve. I think the family was doing their Christmas Eve stuff. And there was a man, my dad said, walking back and forth in front of the house. And it kind of made them a little nervous, but it looked like he was hesitant to go in. And finally, he came up to the door, and my grandfather greeted him. And it was one of his bridge partners. And he said, he hadn't seen him in a while. And the man said that he had lost his job, and he didn't have any gifts for his children. And he hesitated to come in, but he wondered if, my grandfather could loan him some money or help him get some gifts. And my grandfather said, well, it's Christmas Eve. Where are you going to shop? It's not like today, where are you going to shop for gifts? And so he and my grandmother got their kids together, my dad and his siblings, and told them, the story, and said, you guys are about the same age as his children. And so how do you feel about giving away half of your presents to share? And they said, okay. And so my grandmother divided the gifts up equally. If they had 10 gifts, they were all wrapped and everything. And they gave this man half of their gifts. And they also shared food with him, enough for a Christmas dinner for his family. And my dad said one of his siblings, and I think it was dad, one of his siblings said to their mom after the man left, Mom, what gifts am I not going to get? What gifts are we missing? And she looked at him and said, the gifts you never got will be the gifts you will never forget. And that stuck with my dad. And I'm sorry, that stuck with my father, and it stuck with me, because sometimes it's not about the gifts you give or the gifts you receive. Sometimes it's those gifts you never really got, but you gave to somebody else. And my dad, in my lifetime, was one of the most generous, thoughtful, loving people you'd ever know, and always encouraged us to give something to somebody else. So that was my dad's story. And real quickly, I'll tell mine while you're thinking of one yourself. I was probably, I don't remember how old I was. I was probably 10. And my brother was probably 4 or something like that. Maybe I was a little older. And we were shopping, Christmas shopping downtown in our city. And my brother had earlier burned his hand on the stove, which my mother had told him not to touch, but he did, being a little kid, and it hurt, and he wanted a glass of ice or something. And so we sat down at the counter, and I told him, I said, I don't have any money. Maybe the waitress will give us a glass of ice. I'm just going to ask her for ice water. We have no money. We had spent all of our money on Christmas presents. And the waitress put 2 Cokes down in front of us, and I panicked because I knew I couldn't pay for it. My brother, however, started drinking that Coke as fast as he could, and I went, "No, in my mind, we're going to jail. We're stealing. We don't. What are they going to do? Make us wash dishes?" And the gentleman sitting down, 2 seats down, turned to me and said, "Merry Christmas." And that gentleman, I looked at his boots. He was wearing workman's boots. They were dirty. His clothes were dirty. They were torn. I knew that he didn't have a whole lot of money, but he spent what little he had to buy us some Coke, which we were so grateful for. And for some reason, I've never forgotten that man, and I've never forgotten that gift. And of course, my brother wanted the Coke for his hand, so he drank his as fast as he could and stuck his hand in the glass of ice.
Which brother?
That was Willie. That was Willie. We were shopping. So anyway, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. I guess it's Christmas. So, Bill, do you have a Christmas story that you would like
I
to
don't
share?
really.
You don't really? Okay.
I just always like Christmas, and as you can tell, I went out and bought a Christmas tree this year, and I wasn't expecting to really have one because they were so expensive, but I waited till the right time and found a cheap Christmas tree place up on top of the mountain, and so I brought one home. That was it.
And my son came in yesterday, I guess, and looked at that and said, "Wow, that looks like the perfect quintessential Christmas tree."
Oh, that was nothing
Because it
compared to
was
what we
shaped.
used to do.
Well, yeah, but it was, the shape of it was perfect. It looked perfect. He was impressed because he knows what I know. It cost $29, but it is absolutely a beautiful Christmas tree. So, and we talk about the birth of Christ, and we talk about it in glowing terms of Mother Mary and Joseph and the shepherds and the the wise men and all of the gifts and all that happened. And it was a beautiful gift that God gave us. But we cannot forget that that baby was born to die for us. And that is the true message of Christmas. It
Yeah.
is nice for children to talk about baby Jesus. It is nice to talk about gifts, but it is also the purpose of that baby's life was to die for us.
Publicly die, the most horrible deaths, and God only knows how long before then that he actually knew it all. But we just read through that, and it just set you back when you actually. I hate to use the word grok, but when you fully understand what happened and how inevitable it was, and for some significant period of time, this person, Christ, knew his fate and probably knew it in complete detail, and yet he marched right in.
And it's also not lost, and we have to be reminded that the birth of that baby brought also the death of many other children, because Herod was so afraid of the prophetic words about the king being born that many, many children were murdered in order to prevent the Christ child from becoming. And, we could go into a lot of things. I always think it's interesting, too, to look at the frankincense and myrrh, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. A lot of people think, who knows, that the gold, they were not planning on going to Egypt. They were not planning on leaving where they were. They were planning on going home from where they were. But God said, no, you got to go to Egypt. Well, maybe they didn't have the provision, and the wise men brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Gold, of course, to pay for everything. Frankincense is a essential oil, basically, that is used for healing cuts and bruises and other. It has all kinds of use. And myrrh is actually used for pain. And so there was a lot of use in what gifts were brought to the Christ child. So we just wanted to make sure we mentioned that. Are there any wonderful comments?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone named Stephen Wilson. Oh.
Okay.
Says Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve, Steve.
Local Valdez, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful life, ended with great jubilation. Stephen Wilson, one of my best memories was getting my Red Ryder BB gun the same way as in the movie, A Christmas Story.
Did you put your eye out, Steve? You're going to put your eye out with that.
No. Oh, he said, and yes, I almost did shoot my eye out. A BB ricocheted. Safety glasses are cheap. If you're a parent, get the safety glasses too.
Yeah, that is true, because anything could happen. That is, you probably don't know what he's talking about. It's a movie. It was a movie made, and all the kid wanted was a BB gun, and his mother kept saying, "But you'll put your eye out." So
yeah, I never got a BB gun.
Well, did you want one?
Of course, everybody wanted one.
Yeah. Are there any more comments before we sign off?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, we will sign off, and we will say we hope that all of you have I want to say something too. Thank you all. And I'm going to cry again, because since we've started doing the live stream, and not just in the live stream, but in comments of people who watch it afterwards, some of the nicest, sweetest things. And we appreciate the support and the love that we receive from you. And my prayer for you is that you have a very blessed, beautiful, and wonderful Christmas.
And someone by the name of Samuel Anderson says, "It's good to see Bella again." Bella had fallen asleep. She goes, "What? Do I have to wake up and be part of this? Do I really have to do that?" No, I'm going back to sleep.
She was snoring. Yes. And doesn't Bella look beautiful? Yes, Bella looks beautiful. So with all of that, we're going to say, God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America. And God bless every one of you. And thank you. And we are out.